I don't have a million girlfriends because there's always too much to do at home to be out spending time with friends. I thought about going downstairs and calling Johnny again, just to hear his voice one last time, but he was probably in bed by now, and his mother would answer, and that wouldn't be a good thing at all. I decided to talk to Laura. The truth is, I don't do that a lot. You have to understand that Laura and I have always been close, but not really close, you know? I'm 17, she's 18. It's just the two of us, but we're like magnets that push each other apart. I'm the funny one, the athlete, the flirt, and Laura is moody, mysterious, and scared of boys. Being opposites as sisters isn't such a good thing. You're always looking in the mirror and thinking about what you don't have. It's been hard for Laura since Mom died. She and Dad scream at each other all the time. Mostly they argue about God. Laura stopped going to church after Mom's accident, like it was God's fault that we lost her. Dad tells her she's going to hell for turning her back on Jesus. Yeah, he really says stuff like that. Dad has always been a starched shirt-on Sunday Christian, even more so these past few years without Mom. He talks about God punishing him for his sins. I think it was just a drunk driver. Me, I found out who I was after we lost Mom. I know how that sounds, but I had to take over, do the cooking, do the cleaning, keep the house together. I decided that you have to pick a direction in life, and that's that. I'm going to go to college, marry Johnny, become a physical therapist, and help people recover from serious injuries. You know, like Mom never got a chance to do. Laura is jealous that I'm so sure of where I'm going. I made up my mind to talk to her. I got out of bed and slipped down the hallway to her room. You can't really be quiet because the floorboards screech like witches. I tapped gently on her door. Laura? On most nights, the yellow lamp beside her bed glowed until very late, and I would find her with a book under her nose. Tonight, there was no light under the door. When she didn't answer, I turned the knob carefully and went inside. Laura? I said again. She wasn't there. She hadn't come home yet. I switched on the light, which made my eyes squint and blink. Her room was the way it always was. Laura was messy, clothes on the floor, albums stacked on her dresser by the record player, posters of Carly Simon and Linda Ronstadt, both a little crooked where they were taped on the wall, books everywhere, Virginia Woolf, Sylvia Plath, Gail Sheehy. Where was she? I thought back to the evening in the park. Laura and I drove up there together. I was meeting Johnny after his softball game, and he and I were going down to the lake to swim. I knew tonight was going to be the first time for us. I'd been planning it for weeks. The thing was, before Johnny showed up, Laura was acting weird. She was saying scary stuff I didn't understand. Then she asked me if I could keep a secret. I said sure, I could keep a secret forever if I needed to, which was true. But she never got a chance to tell me what it was. Instead, she went off by herself onto the trails. It was night. The rain was pouring down. I never should have let her go. I told myself that everything was okay. Laura had a rendezvous with a boy, just like me and Johnny. That was why she was late tonight. I almost left her room, but then I saw something on her bed, and I realized I was wrong. The letter was just like the others that had arrived anonymously over the past 2 months. Laura told me they had stopped. Why did she lie? I unfolded the piece of paper and stared at the grainy black and white photograph and what was scrawled across the page in red ink, and almost sank to my knees and threw up. As I held it in my hand, I remembered something else from the park. Before the storm broke, before Johnny found us,